Good evening, Carol and John shoppers. It's International Cat Day, which is awesome. We all love International Cat Day.
We do.
I even left all the Winston hair that I typically take off before this video on my shirt. You're welcome. So, yeah, we have been giving Winston lots of love and treats today. So when you see him tomorrow, wish him a happy belated.
It's gonna be huge.
He's gonna be I'm gonna bring Kyle this way. I'm here with Kyle, Andrea, who wins the t-shirt contest for the day, and John Shearer. We are stoked because next week is Late Nite Comics, so on Thursday the 17th, we got Late Nite Comics going on. We're gonna have half-off back issues and a ton of undetermined dollar books on the table, but our dollar room was full of unprocessed dollar books, and those are still in the van, so I have to imagine, because of the ease of it, we will have them in here again. So that's cool, unprocessed. If you saw some good stuff in there you had to skip, then come and get it. And then coming up later next month, on the 23rd of September, Phil Kennedy Johnson's going to be here for a signing. We have 3 more signings after that this year. So we have a flyer at the counter, and all the information is in Andrew's email and on the website. But Phil Kennedy Johnson's next. His run of Hulk right now is amazing, even on issue 2. So we've got a bunch of issue 1s. Come grab 1, grab 2, come get them signed. 2 different covers. Look at that, all prepared. That's it. First appearances.
First appearances.
We got 3 first appearances this week. 3 books with first appearances in them. Starting with DC Night Terrors. We haven't done this before. Not a first appearance of a person, first appearance of a location, but we feel like it fits in comic book history. You've seen the House of Secrets and the House of Mysteries. This is the introduction to the House of Horror, which fits with the Nightmares.
And you could almost say it's also the first appearance of a new Bat costume.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, a very cool new Bat costume. I'm personally excited about. Ghost Rider Wolverine Alpha #1. It's subtitled Weapons of Vengeance. This is the first appearance of a demonic serial killer named the Stitcher. And it is gross.
Yes.
Like, awesomely gross.
Yes.
If you've been enjoying the body horror of Ghost Rider, you will love this beginning to a crossover. And then Amazing Spider-Man #31. Easily our pick of the week. As far as issues go, we will talk about it at length later. Is the first appearance of Madame Monstrosity and first appearance of Mary Jane as Jackpot. So new powers, new identity.
New Mary.
The Jackpot in New York.
Oh,
I don't know. She says it. She says it. It's goofy. In a good way. Goofy in a good way. Okay. Bottom of the table. Got a couple of the aforementioned dollar books. You can add some new stuff too. You just add new stuff too.
I did.
Pretty cool. Oh, you guys can't see Kyle, but it's kind of weird because he's the only one not wearing a black t-shirt, which on any other day of the week, there'd be a rainbow in front of his void, so
No.
it's funny. You had to be here. We've got a new version of the new price guide on the table. This is called the Big edition of the price guide. So for those of you who are visually impaired, it is slightly bigger.
Look at that. House of Secrets.
Oh, that's weird. It's almost, I didn't plan that. It's got magic thumbs. It's a little bigger. It feels bigger when you read it.
That one's big. This one's big.
Oh, yeah, my bad. One new image, #1 this week. You've got the Enfield Gang Massacre. It is a pure Western. No supernatural elements, no sci-fi elements. It is about outlaws and lawmen. And it's great. It's well written. It's a great setup. There's a whole newspaper at the end, like old-timey style, doing the signs of the times and like describing bank robberies. Fantastically pure, awesome Western.
I've been asking for something like this.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's old-timey gun ads. You can like order. Wait. You can order a $3.99 revolver. And Jacob Phillips. So you got a little bit of a connection to the Brubaker Phillips wonderful team up. Right. Yeah. He's been doing. What was that book? Time.
That Texas Blood.
Oh, that Texas Blood. Oh, is it part of an imprint?
I think it might be. I haven't read that Texas Blood, but
okay, cool.
I love that issue.
It's the same team duo that does that.
Oh.
And it's set in the same county.
Oh, so it's like their history.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, we even learned something new on Dirt Live. Couple more image issues this week. Gunslinger Spawns on #23. Let's call this cover A. We'll call this cover B for purposes of claiming. Weird Work is on issue #2, and it's weird. Haunt You to the End is on issue #3, and then Image Collections. You got the full miniseries for Ambassadors, You've got the complete series, number 1 through 36, for Robert Kirkman's Oblivion song. Hexware, the complete miniseries. That's specific. And then Plush, which I wish you could have context of behind me, because John Shearer, as soon as I gestured towards it, was up and ready. So I'm like, go.
Plush. It's serial killing cannibalistic furries. There we go.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. If you took my recommendation and read Plastic in the past, same creative team, same insanity. It's wonderful. It's crazy. The lawmen are even worse than the furries. It's wonderful. It's furries versus the police, and you're rooting for the furries every time. It's great. It's insane. Best $20 you'll spend this week.
And if you don't feel like giving it a shot for $20, we do have issue 1s, but no subsequent issues. So once you buy issue 1, you're going to love it, and you're going to want to grab the trade paperback.
Yes.
But that's it for Image this week. A little bit of a small showing, but that's small but potent. Aforementioned Philip Kennedy Johnson doing that signing on the 23rd of September. This is Incredible Hulk number 1 with a fantastic second printing cover. All Hulk on that. Look at that. That's
Real.
78% Hulk on that cover. And then they also reprinted Ultimate Invasion number 1 this week, which is a 4-issue miniseries that we are all excited about. So if you did not catch issue 1 when we had it in, grab it now. You will not be sad about that. Last week we had a Secret Warriors omnibus hit the table, and we had a space this week to put it back on there. We stand by this Jonathan Hickman series taking place right after Secret Invasion. So just fantastic artwork and character development in there. And then we've got some Star Wars stuff. Dark Droids number 1 came out last week. This is Star Wars number 37. It's a Dark Droid tie-in. It's essentially Lando versus Lobot. I mean, that's true. You get some old school Lando vibes, and you actually get a little bit of history into Lando and Lobot's previous relationship, pre-Cloud City. And then there's a 1 in 25 variant available there. Look at that, Lando Lobot again. Star Wars Max Rebo is the latest 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi one-shot, and it is the saddest one?
It's probably the saddest one.
It's the saddest one. Max Rebo is very much a voyeur in Jabba's palace. He's not a key player. He's not noticed a lot. And this is a sad story about, how music helps him cope with the horror.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
It takes I think it happens during Return of the Jedi, which is super cool. You get a little bit of a mix there of Han coming in, Luke coming to save him. So that's all going on in the midst of pretty much a mental breakdown.
Yeah. And who knows if it has a happy ending or not, honestly.
Yeah.
And then one last thing from last week, Star Wars Dark Droids number 1, we sold out of really quickly. You guys all took our really enthusiastic recommendations, and we're stoked about that. It is so good. The night of last week, I ordered 12 more. So they're here. There's some on last week's wall. Read Dark Droids. It's a good Star Wars starting point. I've been waiting for. We've been waiting for. All stoked about that. So now we're into Marvel collected stuff. We got 2 epic collections. Daredevil, Into the Fire. I'm assuming Typhoid Mary plays a role.
No, but it does have. It does have Man Without Fear. It does have Man Without Fear in it. The 5-issue miniseries that retells its origin by Miller and Romita. It also has an awesome graphic novel of Daredevil and Black Widow that's beautifully drawn, along with all the D.G. Chichester stuff with Daredevil and Taskmaster and Stiltman and crazy stuff like that. So.
You had me at still.
Everybody
right?
but Typhoid Mary. Okay.
I just make it up, dude. I read the backs of the books 15 minutes before we do this, and that's it. Another epic collection, Mighty Thor. You've got in Immortal Flesh. So I'm not even going to take a guess. Forget it.
From 401 to 420.
Well, I didn't know that. I was going to talk about some of the storyline, but I would have said Quasar was in it, and I would have gotten it wrong.
No, he would have gotten that right.
All right. Can the thing fly now?
Sometimes.
Okay.
As long as Quasar's there.
What a specific superpower. Avengers. Come on, man. Let's fly to breakfast. I can't. Quasar's not here. He's still asleep. Avengers War Across Time is the complete miniseries that finished up earlier this year. So they're doing great at getting trade paperbacks out on time. Invincible Iron Man. This is the first trade paperback of the current ongoing series, so subtitled Demon in the Armor. And then actually kind of a staff favorite, Chris Samney drew an entire Thor miniseries that was all ages friendly.
Yes.
And it's a great classic Thor story. Thor story.
Yes.
Thor story. Jane Foster, Loki, Thor, figuring out stuff on Earth, figuring out stuff in Asgard.
It's the whole series, all collected, a little digest. I've always been selling this as much as I can. If you just want to read a good Thor story with good art, it's fantastic.
Back in print.
Yes.
Avengers on number 4 for the current ongoing. We've got an Alex Ross Avengers Connecting cover, and then the Alex Ross Avengers Connecting cover, but it's a 1 in 100 variant, so it's a sketch cover for a very reasonable $60. I should mention, since it's our first priced up variant of the week, John Dudas is in Wyoming, so Kyle got to do the variant prices. You're welcome. They're reasonable. John's pretty reasonable too. I just like throwing him out there. Miles Morales Spider-Man's on issue number 9. Still some great Hobgoblin action, as shown on the 1 in 25 variant.
Love that.
Really great looking. I like the angles. I love the angles. Penguin does not make a lot of mistakes, but unfortunately they shorted us almost all of our copies of Children of the Vault number 1. So following up from the Hellfire Gala and X-Men, the excellent X-Men number 25, we do have Children of the Vault number 1s. They're on their way back in. If you missed one, let us know. We'll grab it for you. But there's the 1 in 25 variant. It is a Bishop Cable team-up story. Then we got Red Goblin. They're on issue number 7.
Fighting crossbones.
Getting snot kicked out of him.
Yeah, he's getting the symbiote beat off him.
Yeah.
And then Silk is on number 4 of 5, so that's the penultimate issue of that series. Spider-Man, big number 1 at the end of the table. It is the Spider-Man Annual. It is it's the first issue tying in with the Contest of Chaos after the Scarlet Witch Annual. It's Spider-Man versus Wolverine the whole dang time. There's a little bit of magic involved, forcing them to do what they do, but they do it great.
Yep. I mean, Wolverine is the best at what he does.
Yeah,
so.
that was.
Yeah.
I didn't make the joke well, but that's what I was going for. So that'll be the annual for 2023, and we've got the Diodato excellent.
Delato.
Oh, Delato.
Yeah.
I just
Gabriel
threw
Delato.
so a bunch of D's and O's around and hope for the
Yes.
best. But Delato did a variant for that one. Guardians of the Galaxy number 5, still amazing, still fantastic. This is the wrap. I would say this is probably a wrap up to a storyline.
I didn't get to read it.
No.
Really?
I know. No. I was saying I was excited because I didn't get to read it. I know. Hush. Don't.
Oh, why I can't say anything.
Well, you can say stuff.
yeah.
No one else
It's
has read
a
it.
great issue of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's spelled Guardians. Now I'm just trying to kill time. If you're reading Guardians of the Galaxy, you will not be disappointed. And then Vecchio did a variant for it, and we got a 1 in 25 featuring Groot as in all his Grootness.
Yes.
This takes up a couple rows of the table. You've got Amazing Spider-Man number 31. We'll call it an anniversary issue. We're on number 925. We're just going to hold it up and talk about it for a second. This is the wedding. You can hold up a different cover. This is, damn it. I hate this cover.
That cover.
This is an anniversary issue with the wedding of Robbie Robertson.
Yes.
I guess I didn't realize how dumb his name was until right now. The wedding of Robbie Robertson to a supervillain, so you've got shenanigans at this wedding. Like, Tombstone and it's Tombstone's daughter. He insists that all his supervillain pals come to the wedding, so that, like, they're not off to the side Godfather style planning something. That's a great wrap up to a current story arc. There's some, and then there's like 7 mini stories after it, and they're all great.
Spider-Boy, like Spider-Woman. What else is there? Jackpots. Like, there's just a truck
Kraven
ton.
the Hunter.
Yes.
Doc Ock, and then 2 personal favorites of Spider-Man meeting a goose,
Yes.
That one was great.
and the guy who lives in New York who's addicted to being saved by superheroes.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Perry. Both very charming, silly stories that have nothing to do with anything else. But the Spider-Boy story is a setup for Spider-Boy series coming up. Spider-Woman's a setup for a new Spider-Woman series. The Kraven one is really awkwardly a setup for the next story arc in Spider-Man, like really awkward. And then the Doc Ock one is a setup for Superior Spider-Man. Normally, I wouldn't subscribe to any of this setup BS. Like, I'd skim through them. All great stories, honestly. But there's one that's super more important.
Yes.
I'll go get it.
Okay. So, one of the most underrated and underseen Spider-Man stories, period, is
all.
Spider-Man Reign. And it is glorious. It is basically Dark Knight Returns with Spider-Man. It's set 30 years in the future. It's Carrie Andrews did the writing and the art. It's beautiful. It's been out of print forever. We never have the issues in. And at the very back of the book, they're advertising part 2. And I cannot. 5 pages of preview for part 2. They call it the most notorious Spider-Man story of all time, and they might be right, but it is one of the greatest Spider-Man stories of all time. And if this means part 2 is coming out, that means hopefully the collection of Rain will be coming out again, because Ben has his copy.
Which I'm loaning to Andrea, and I'm going to put that out there right now so that we all know where it's been when I can't find it.
Yeah.
But
John Shearer and I have spouted off about
Super
Spider-Man
excited.
Rain many, many times, several times on video. It is one of the best Spider-Man stories ever read. It's not diminishing it by calling it Dark Knight Returns for Spider-Man. They essentially spell that out for you in the book. Like, they do a lot of media coverage. The newscaster's name is Miller Jansen. So it's phenomenal. It's one of the best Spider-Man stories ever told. Please find it. And
yes, and just be excited like we are, because I called him last night after reading it, telling him, you need to come read this.
I could take this whole time and tell that whole story. But John Shearer never calls me unless it's like important. And I thought something was wrong at the shop because I left him like a half hour earlier. And man, something was so right at the shop. I drove back up here at 11:30 last night to read it because of how excited he was telling me about it.
Yeah. So regular covers. We have the regular one. We have the Greg Land variant. We have the 1 in 50 Greg Land Virgin variant. We've got the George Perez variant. We have the George Perez Virgin variant, the 1 in 100. We have we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, that's in there too.
That's in there too. So we've got the negative space variant, and then we have a 1 in 25 variant by Quesada, I believe. So yeah, it's great. Many different covers. And then we move on to the Captain Marvel Dark Tempest, issue 2. Still fighting Nitro. We've got the regular cover, but we also have the awesome Cap variant cover, the Stormbreakers variant.
How fluffy. This looks familiar.
We have the homage variant, and Roche Besh did a variant for that one as well.
Marvel Facsimile Edition this week. I don't have anything to say about that. Don't point at me.
I like
Werewolf by Night number 33.
second appearance.
Second appearance of Moon Knight. Yeah, reprinted
And this time he fights Werewolf by Night.
in the Werewolf by Night book.
On a ladder.
Wild. It is on a ladder.
They did
Like a bright red ladder. Immortal X-Men's on number 14. I won't bore you with crazy details. It's a great book that follows up with the Hellfire Gala, which was a fantastic way to start reading X-Men currently. It does give you many answers and use it and like about the meat grinder, shall we say. So if you read it, you know what I'm talking about. Great issue, actually. The only issue I've ever read of Immortal X-Men. And then a 1 in 25 homage cover.
Yes.
Yeah, that's weird. Big book, talk of the table. Ghost Rider Wolverine, Weapons of Vengeance number 1 is recapping Wolverine and Ghost Rider's first appearance. It is a classic team-up book. They start fighting, they start teaming up. You got a little bit of flashback action, kind of setting that up, but there's definitely just a new demonic, crazy serial killer out there that is tied very mysteriously to an 8-year-old child, which Wolverine doesn't give a lot of hoot about.
No, he does
Like,
not.
In a scary way, like,
Yeah.
don't let Wolverine meet your kids.
Yeah.
He might be angry. So there's cover A for those. We've got Ghost Rider Wolverine, Texiera. I was doing it. It's a Daniel Way run. He did all the artwork for it. I know exactly who that man is.
Texiera.
I actually don't.
I know. I know you don't. That's why I figured you'd say it.
Stop. We're going to give you your side of the table in a second. I got 3 more to go through. Perez did a cover with Wolverine on it. You got anything to say? All right. Just kidding. Miss Minutes did a cover. We got Frank Miller doing a cover. It's Kyle's favorite of the week. Looks like caveman. And then we got a 1 in 50, which is an all art cover of that Frank Miller cover.
Oddly, I like the Virgin more than I like. I don't know what. I don't
I
know.
dig it because there's no. It's more.
Yeah,
It's more a piece of artwork of Wolverine, not a comic book cover.
Yes, I think that's what it is.
And then 2 new Insignia variants, which are pretty great. There's Ghost Rider's Insignia, and there's Wolverine. What do you know? Team up book. But now we're on to the DC side of the table. John Shearer, take it away.
Night Terrors. It's still going on. and we're on issue 3. Again, the House of Horror, but more importantly, Batman's new costume. Robin has basically said, "I'm done with nightmares," and is teaming up with Batman, Deadman, Sandman, and it's continuing this awesome little story that is way better than I think any of us ever expected it to be. We've got the regular cover, the cover B Matina variant, the homage 1 in 25 variant, the 1 in 50 variant there, and then we move before we give. Let's go back to Night Terrors. We've got the Robin one. This is again not. This is Jason Todd and Tim Drake as they fight their own nightmares, and it's awesome. The cover B, the 1 in 25 variant is where it's at, because that's easily Jason Todd's nightmare right there.
Yeah, that's
so that's the 1 in 25 variant. The Green Lanterns, so a lot of the regulars, we've got variants. So you've got your 1 in 25 variant there and your 1 in 50 variant there. Moving down the line, Zatanna, still teaming up with Doom Patrol's Robot Man, and it's gross and cool. So that's the regular cover there.
Gross and cool.
It is. The 1 in 25 variant there. Shazam is, we've got the regular cover for that. We've got the cover B. Black Adam. Well, or is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Black
it's
Adam.
Nightmare Adam.
Nightmare Adam. And the 1 in 25 variant there. More Night Terrors. We got Flash.
Oh, creepy.
It is.
It's a naked dude. Well, it's a naked nightmare.
Yes.
naked.
We've got the cover B variant for that there. The 1 in 25 Kyle Holtz variant. And then the 1 in 50 electrical zombie Flash variant there. And then we're going to move up to the top here. Danger Street's on issue number 8. Still great. Still wonderful.
One of my favorite covers of the week, for sure.
Oh, yeah. And you find out who all these characters are in here and how they got that way. It's pretty cool. Spirit World's on number 4. Wildcats is on number 10. Batman shows up in this one. Yay, Batman. And then we have...
Well, they gotta sell Wildcats somehow.
You're not wrong. And then we have Ben's favorite DC book of the week, the Superman Annual 2023. Parasite, Livewire, Silver Banshee, reporters all doing reporting, but it's more importantly because Parasite is fantastic.
I was just going to reach under you and get a book covertly, but I didn't.
No.
It's a great annual. It's a perfect side story to what's been going on in Superman, setting up new stuff, but not retelling a whole bunch of old stuff. It's from a completely different perspective, and I'll tell you, the last 2 pages are a friggin' great setup.
Yes.
Fragging great setup almost.
But yeah.
You guys get
but worth it just to see Parasite.
Oh god. He doesn't look at all like he does on the cover.
No, and it's wonderful in every way. But that's the regular cover. Jock did a variant. Chris Samney of Thor did a variant for that one. We've got a 1 in 25 variant and the 1 in 50 variant by Jorge Jimenez. Batman Incorporated's on number 11. Batman Incorporated is done. Not yet. Still at least one more issue. We've got the regular. We've got the cover B. The World's Finest Teen Titans by Mark Waid. Get your copy just so you can have one for him to sign. But then we also have the 1 in 25 variant.
By Riley Rossimo, which is wonderful.
It is.
They're spelling out Teen Titans.
It's so good.
You get it because she's
I know. I love it. Yeah, it's a great cover. Wonder Woman 800, if you missed it, and a few of you did, we've got the second print there, which is awesome homage to the TV show cover. Lazarus Planet is in a hardcover. All the side stories, or is it
all the one shots and the Batman and Robin stuff? I think. Oh no, it's just all the one shots.
All the one shots. $29.99 hardcover. Find out why magic and mysticism has affected everybody within there. And then the
Volume 3 of the James Tynion ongoing. So previous to the Chip Zdarsky stuff.
Correct.
This is the ongoing before that in Volume 3.
Yes.
Which would be easier to tell if DC would put it on the spine. I'm going to say it every damn time because DC's going to watch this one day and they're going to be like, we should probably put it on the spine. I mean, those guys are smart. They know what they're talking about.
It just goes on a bookshelf.
Yeah, and then we can see it. Do Roman numerals.
That works too.
I don't care. Do Sumerian. Do something where it's a freaking order to it. Speaking of Sumeria, I'm just kidding. Complete Persepolis. First time this comic staple, I would say, like, necessary reading for comic fans in hardcover. First time ever. I just learned that today. It's about a girl who grew up in Tehran during the Islamic Revolution, and she's dealing with a lot of, like, normal life stuff, like censorship, and kind of seeing the violence in the revolution from the side. But it's a very well choreographed, well-told graphic novel. Again, first time in hardcover ever. And then we're going to pass over super small press stuff to Andrea.
Dark Horse Masquerade is on issue 7. Barnstormers, which I still haven't read, is on issue 2.
I have. It's good. It's worth it. I like it. Yeah, it's worth it. I like it. Yeah.
Oh, you read it too?
Oh, yeah. I like Barnstormers a lot.
I knew you liked it. I didn't know if you had time for 2.
And then Boom, Damn Them All Volume 1 is out. That's the first 6 issues. And here's issue 7.
Perfect.
Get them both. Read all of it. Ghost Lore on issue 4, which
Cool.
I have
Love
to
it.
catch up on that.
Love me some Ghost Lore.
House of Slaughter's on issue 16. Got this Peach Momoko reveal variant. The 1 in 25 variant. Mech Cadets.
Mech Cadets. That was a free
Number
comic book day book.
Oh, cool.
Kids pretty much go to like an academy for giant robot school essentially, and they graduate and get to.
Some elevator pitch I saw was Power Rangers meets Pacific Rim.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I got out of it. Cool.
What is this? Scarlet Couture? I don't
Noir.
know what that is. A
The new-
noir.
Yes.
It's the
I
music.
didn't know there was a T and an A in noir.
Well, there always is. Issue 3 of Snow White Zombie Apocalypse. We got an extra one, so here it is.
Thanks, Diamond.
Speak of noir, Scout has a new number 1. It's Comic Books Kill. It's set in the 30s. So after Prohibition, liquor's legal. So now the mob has to get into another business. They get into the comic book business.
Oh.
So it's about a comic book creator who's trying to sell his stuff, and he gets mixed up with a lady who is a girlfriend of a mob boss.
Dude, I honestly
So.
didn't want to read that until
I know, that's exactly how I felt.
This one's my pick of the week. Dwellings number 1. It's like a cutesy
Oh, yeah.
horror book. It says right on the cover, definitely not for kids.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yep.
I would
It's just 2
definitely
stories.
Not
Each
$10 you would.
issue's gonna have 2 complete stories in it.
It's
It's
3
got
parts, right?
like fake ads,
Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about this. I love it. Oh, so cool.
so that's cool.
It's a week of fake ads. I love
Yeah.
it. You get $3.99 revolvers and all types of stuff.
Gargoyles Dark Ages is on number 2. That's
Yep.
the action figure variant, and a 1 in 30 variant,
Nice.
and that's it.
Yep.
And
Not a lot of new action figures this week. We've got the Marvel Legends that build Amadeus Cho Hulk. We've got the constantly cool Super Adaptoid. The Indiana Jones figures from last week, which we've had great success selling 2 of for $50, which is great. New this week, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Ninja Turtles. We've got Mikey and Donatello. They come with awesome accessories. You can only get them at comic shops. And guess what? We're a comic shop. So get them here. A few new all-ages stuff. You've got Pokemon Sword and Shield graphic novel number 7, Wind. This is the 3rd by, it's all ages by James Tynion. Kind of a fantasy, a little bit of horror. This is the 3rd miniseries they put in collection. Vixen, New York City is I didn't know this was YA. It's a YA series from DC as original graphic novels. It's the first of 3, I believe. And then along the same line, you've got Batman, the Wayne Family Adventures. So you've got the entire Wayne family in young adult writing fashion. My Little Pony's got a one-shot. This is the best of Pinkie Pie. We got Mexikid from last week, which is the biggest YA book for $15.
yup.
Also a free comic book day property. And then new board book, Avengers. We love our board
Whoa.
books. We've got a full shelf of all character-specific board books. We're going to add Avengers to it later next week. But it's classic Avengers artwork in a style that your child can't destroy. So that's awesome. That's it. That's our big comic table for the 9th of August, 2023. John Dudas is still traveling through the rest of this week. So everybody keep him in your thoughts and wish him happy travels. And look for his pictures on Facebook. Otherwise, we will see you next Thursday for Late Night Comics and for your comics tomorrow.
Take us away, Sheer.